comments gone. Here we go. Well, g'day everyone. Welcome to another little chat here at Wingasabaru. We've got the legend Mark Kitteridge. He's a very famous man around New Zealand, written heaps of books. Reckons he's quite good at fishing. And you've got me over here, and I specialise in catching small panny snapper. That's my specialty. And I do love catching small panny snapper. Got a few things to talk about today. First thing is the report that's gone on to the Herald today about the snapper stocks declining by a massive amount in the Auckland area, which I do not believe at all. So there's been a chat on the radio on ZB, so there's a good chat going on there at the moment about it, but I smell a rat, and I don't believe the snapper stocks have gone down in Auckland by as much as they're claiming. So it'd be interesting to see how that pans out. If anyone's got any comments about that report, feel free. Audio is very low. Hang on, let me turn the audio up.
Stand by.
That should be better. Hopefully the audio is a bit better now, people.
Any good?
So, how's that? Is that better? Is that better, Ross? Is that better? Let us know.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up, yes or no? Is that the volume better? We do have issues with the volume from time to time. Good. That's good. Sweet. So if anyone's got any comments about that report that's in the Herald this morning about the snapper stocks having this massive decline in Auckland, please comment away and let us know your thoughts on whether you think there's more snapper in the Hauraki Gulf or there's less, or it's the same, and if the quota management system has been working at building our snapper stocks back up. I believe they have, but it'd be interesting to know what you all think about this interesting topic that has been raised in the news today.
Well, it's always a tough one, Paul. We've already debated a little bit ourselves. We are better at finding them. We are better at catching them. So, we can seem as if we've still got healthy stocks sometimes where it could be masking things. But to me, the issue is not really so much about the amount that it may or may not have declined as to the problems with the environment. And those are the steps that we can help fix. For example, they're talking about the pollution that's coming out of our stormwater drains. We can do something about that. We can actually process it better, and I know there's been a bit of talk about it in recent times, so just stopping that pollution is going to really help. And also silt is causing a lot of the shellfish beds to get choked up, and that's causing issues as well. In particular, they're having trouble with the kinner, which have taken over because they're not being controlled by the crayfish and by the snapper, which are their natural predators. And it means that they're hoeing into all the weed, and that means that they're getting rid of our environment, which the snapper, of course, like to be amongst it. It also facilitates food and that sort of thing. So whether or not, there's two aspects to this. Some of it is whether or not the fish are actually declining, but it's also about just safeguarding our environment for the future, for our kids,
I totally understand that. I'm just don't believe some of the figures that are being quoted at the moment.
87% down, they reckon.
Yeah, I don't believe that for 1 minute, so
When's it from? Is that right from Virgin Stock?
Who knows? I think it's
from Virgin Stock.
Oh, from Virgin Stock. What's that, 1900 or something? So I think there's a bit of, to me there's a bit of dodginess going around with those stats at the moment, so be interested to see how that pans out. Here's a good comment from Ashley, your mate. Blame Mark for the decline in snapper stocks. That's a good one, Ashley. Ashley's a bloody good dude down at Top Catch Clevedon. So if you want to cheer yourself up and hear a few jokes, go and see Ashley down there. He's always got a big smile on his face and a good guy. And just one other thing I kind of been holding back about this tagging that's happening with snapper lately, mate. I know there's two sides to every story, and my side of the story is I don't believe in tagging at all until the taggers, the people who are promoting this tagging promotion of snapper, until they can prove to me how that improves our snapper stocks. I'm calling, why tag snapper if we need some proof that this actually is helping the snapper, otherwise I'm against it.
We're a little bit, once again, we're a little bit different.
Yeah, Mark and I have different views, but that's good.
Because I figure that if there's actually a goal, if there's something to be achieved from tagging snapper, sure. But if it's just something pretty random where they go, well, tagging billfish helps us track their migration, where they breed, and that sort of thing. That's actually things that can be used in a positive way. Whereas if snapper, you know, are we going to learn anything from this? I'm hoping that there is something, but no one's really told us in a concrete way that there is. And so I can understand why you can say, well, why put a metal thing into a fish and go make it go through the trauma of having to survive afterwards?
Yeah.
You know, why better not just go and like let it go because it's already got a tough job ahead of it already. You know, so. I do understand that.
Well, my biggest concern, mate, is I know this for a fact that some guys are going out. They used to go and catch their limited snapper and go home, but now they think they're helping the snapper stocks by tagging a whole lot of snapper and releasing them, so they're catching more fish than they normally would because they believe they're helping the fishing population of the snapper stock. So until we see some really hard evidence and proof, I don't think you guys should be tagging any snapper at all.
Yeah.
So, until it's proven. And we invite any of the tagging guys to come on the show and explain to us and show us where the research is going and how that has been used to improve the snapper stock. So you're welcome to come on the show at any time and explain to us how this is all working.
Yeah, because Scott Tyndall's a big part of that, and
he's a good guy.
I've got a lot of respect for Scott. He's you know, and I think he really does have our fishery at heart.
Yes.
You know, like he wants to do something right, and so I'm sure that, you know, if we gave him the chance, I'm hoping that he'll come through with some really valid comments on, you know, how we can help our fishery in the way that he's hoping to do it.
Yeah, so that's good. So that's enough of our kind of politics,
how
mate.
How about our far north trip, mate?
How about our far north trip, mate?
So
we
cool.
Last week we went up to our favourite place in the world, far north, snapper fishing. Had a good day. I had a reasonable day, then the next day was really awesome. We had a kind of a situation where Mark really enjoyed it. I've been in that situation a few times, which I'm very lucky to be. So why don't you tell us your experience of what happened off the breakers, mate, because that was pretty cool.
Yeah, well, you know, like, first of all, you have to appreciate that when you go with Paul, you're going to be like in a pinball machine. You're going pew, 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 like that. You're just dashing from one place to another. Sometimes it's really frustrating, because I like to have my line in the water, but he nearly always finds, in the end, a decent bite. So, I have to go kicking and struggling, you know, to all these different places. I'm always going, oh, can I just have one more minute? But these days he just starts the boat and off we go, you know, so he doesn't even ask me. So we go from all these different places, and as I say, because we're trying all these different areas, eventually we find a circumstance where it is happening very often. And to go into this virgin area, this great exhibition bay with like beautiful white sands, clear water, the car wire up, smashing the whitebait off the surface, and underneath there's just a variety of predators, including trevally. There's obviously a lot of kahawai, kingfish, and snapper. And just not knowing what you're going to hook when the lures got down to the bottom was pretty cool. Just the same as a lot of the other scenarios that we've been having recently, it was like a lot of the really bright coloured lures were doing super well. Laguna shrimp, Atomic Sunrise, Sexy Penny, those ones were really doing super well. But what interested me was we got a little bit further out and we hooked up with William the Fisherman 123. He's a young fishing prodigy. He's a very capable young fella. Very engaging, got a great smile, and I noticed we had quite a few contests, and I was doing really well with all these brightly coloured ones with very small jig heads, although actually I did quite well with the smoky shad as well. That seemed to work for me. But I noticed that he went a whole different route. Like there I was with much lighter than usual jig heads, just letting it waft down through the water column because so many of the fish were just all the way down from top to the bottom. But he, on the other hand, had a much heavier jig head, and it was only when he was mucking around waiting for me to go and cast that I just saw, it was just reminded me of how good these lures can be. With that paddle tail, especially when you have a bit of weight to actually force it down quickly through the water, that tail is just thrashing and it looks just like a live fish, you know. And so the vibration, that's right, it just reminded me what a great combination you can have with a heavier jig head and one of these. You do a slightly more upward movement rather than necessarily just jiggling along the bottom. So it's upward and dropping back down again. But that movement with those paddle tails was phenomenal. Yeah. And he just had this shiner on.
Yeah, I love paddle tails.
Went very, very well. It's just such an unassuming looking colour, that shiner.
Yep.
And yet it's like new penny. It's just a good, it's what I call a searcher pattern.
Sure.
Where you just don't really know what they're eating, but it's so consistent. You know, it'll get a lot of different fish. And if you want to, for a similar reason, this...
Oh, Chris put that on, only he was doing well, mate.
Oh, did he? Yeah, and
hold it up a bit higher there.
sorry,
there
yeah.
You go.
So this opening night here, it just I was reminded by Tracy, who's our big supporter up in Whangarei. She said that she's been doing super well. It's just another, sorry about all the secret sauce all over it, but just it's got a lot of gleam to it, and it's just like a baitfish pattern, and that little sucker there has been doing super well. That's opening night. So if you want to have another baitfish type, that's one. And for deeper down, if you want to have the baitfish sort, then the old newt pilchard. That's just been killing it because it's got that luminous belly.
It's one of my favourite now, that colour.
And if you want to have a high vis one, because as I say, the brighter colours seem to be going particularly well right now, that coconut ice has just been a machine. So try some of those. They're some good options right now.
Yeah, and you know, there's a few people asking where the fish are. I'm going to show you on the chart at the end of the show where the fish are. But good news is we've had the 8-inch Z-Man jerk sheds have just arrived in the warehouse about an hour ago.
Oh, awesome,
so
we're
probably going to get in trouble again because we haven't told all the shops about it. But there will be some shops, the guys who are pretty quick. Old Eric Wong's watching, mate. Eric, we've got 8-inch Z-Mans in stock. So if you want to get some, put them in your shop quick, and you'll get that mad rush of people who just want them, including me, because I just want some 8-inch Z-Mans to try. They're like a 7-inch, but they're a lot bulkier, and so it's going to be good fun to use 8-inch Z-Mans to catch snapper. Do you want to say something?
On a similar vein, I haven't told everyone that, and we haven't got one here because I haven't got one yet, is everyone's been going on about the 10-inch pearl the heroes, because that's the one that all the videos have been showing the white colour and the, oh god, I've forgotten the bloody name of it.
What?
Just the big 10-inch soft plastics. Begins with S. I've forgotten the name.
Oh, Heroes.
No. The it's actually the opposition's one, but they showed this white one skipping across the top of the water, getting smashed by kingfish and tuna. So when we got our Heroes, everyone's going, "Where's your white one?" We've got a white one.
Have we?
We've got a white one. So
Sweet.
if you guys want to go and fish for kings and tuna with a white 10-inch Heroes, it's a bloody good one to go and use, and we do have some.
Sweet, mate. So fishing in the Harrogate Gulf, so I've been lucky enough to be out there 2 days in a row. I went there on Monday. What day is it now? Wednesday. So we went there on Monday, and it was so good. I went out after work with Kieran from Top Catch Takapuna, left at 5:30 from Takapuna boat ramp, got out to the middle grounds and the little Innovision, burned at 30 knots. And there's fish, there's workups. The workups have started. On the way out, look like spring workups. I always say when you feel that little nip of coldness in the air in the mornings, that's when the autumn fishing starts to kick in. And there was a lot of pilchards out there. Both days we had good workup action. So, you know, people have been saying it's been hard over the past 3 or 4 weeks. It's changed now. It's 100% changed. And it's not hard to go out there now and catch yourself a feed of snapper under the workups. Not many big ones, guys, but nice pan-sized fish that are great for eating, and the odd 10 to 15 pounder, but mostly smaller ones because that's the time of year it is. It's not a good time of year to target big snapper, but it's a great time of year to go and catch yourselves a feed and muck around with lures and workups. What's been working for me, this is organically becoming my favourite colour now. I'm using it just about all the time, and that's the red chrome coin drop, and that has just been performing so well, and with the skirt on it performs well. But what I've been doing is changing it to a 4.5-inch jelly baby. Now guys, we're coming back into a workup season period through autumn, and if you haven't tried jelly babies on your coin drops or your sliders, make sure you do, because I'd say 95% of the time these catch the bigger fish, which is fantastic. They don't break. You can expect to catch 20, 30, even more snapper before you have to change the rig. So they last a lot longer than these ones. Did I say they're scented?
No, so
they're scented as well, and they're biodegradable. And so if you want to have less plastic waste in the ocean, think of these things. These things break, all the plastic goes in the water. These things don't break, and no plastic goes in the water. So if you are getting, want to do something to help, do your little bit and buy lures that aren't going to break. And also coin drops, for those of you who don't know, it comes in a cardboard packaging. So we are trying our best to get away from plastic packaging, and we challenge all the other brands to do the same. So also, if you want to help a little bit, buy lures in cardboard packaging instead of plastic, and you'll do your little bit to help the environment as well. And yeah, now jig heads are coming in cardboard, and we're changing everything over to cardboard packaging just to start. Hopefully it starts a chain reaction and all the other brands doing it. That's the reason we're doing it, is to put pressure on the big brands to do this, because if we can do it, there's no reason why the big brands with a lot more money than us can't do it as well. So that's the challenge for the big corporate brands, mate. Why can you change your packaging as well?
Yeah, it costs a little bit, you know, both in time and effort, and sometimes materials as well, but we figure it's worth it. And hopefully in the future, you know, you might even think, well, I don't mind paying another, you know, 50 cents or something for this product, because it's actually one that I want to get behind and support, because it's got, you know, our future, you know, at heart. Yeah,
and also, for those of you who don't know, so Nico is actually a Nico soft bait that we've turned into a skirt for our sliders, but they also come in these packs. So these are on the market. That doesn't look very good, that packet. There they are there. So these are soft baits, and old Marky's been putting them on jig heads. You want to rig one up, mate? Show us what you're doing.
Oh, okay.
And so using them as soft baits, and he is telling me that they're working really well. So that is like a, once again, biodegradable, stretchy, doesn't break, scented, and it works on your jig heads as well. So, you know, and you were telling me that I haven't done it myself, but Mark's been doing it. I know Jackson Baker's been doing it, and a few people have been doing it. And so you can buy these soft baits in the shops, should be now. Sorry, retailers, if you don't know about it, but now you do. You can buy these in packs. And
yeah, the main thing with this one here is I noticed that it's really important. There's a little bit of a lug. There's a bit of a lug at the top there, like a little, sort of almost a nipple. And you have to have that actually out.
Hold it up there, buddy.
Because it gives like, so this part here.
So you can't
this
see
part.
It.
This part here, where it meets up with the jig.
See if I can focus it. There you go.
The jig head. So it has to have that bit that's sticking out, like on the neck. Because otherwise you don't have enough grip. And it pulls it off too easily. So you need to have that out. So if you want to have a product that will eventually biodegrade, this is one. It'll still last you like 30, 40, 50 fish sometimes, but it's a really good option, and it's certainly caught a lot of fish for me at the time. Can I hang it like that so we can... One thing that I should say too is that if you go and wash that at the end of the day under fresh water and then store it out of the sun, it should actually keep going. But if you just like leave it on the end of your rod, it's going to eventually degrade, and you'll find it gets all sticky, and it will slowly just deteriorate. So
I love this colour here. That is a really good colour.
Some of them have some real neat fluorescences in them too. So you know, there's some very cool ones.
They're available now. What else has come out this week? So we had a new Rapido stick bait come out. So a new kind of squid colour that you're going to see in a few shops. So someone bought the whole lot. Chris, bought the whole lot.
Yeah, good on you, mate.
So then Mark's all disappointed. If you're watching Mr. O'Neill, Mark is very disappointed that you bought all the squid-coloured stick baits to put in the Top Cat shops.
Yeah,
so
thank you for doing that.
You might have to go and...
You throw me under the bus with all the rest of the shops.
You might have to go and buy one, mate.
No, you throw me under the bus.
Buy one with your...
Everyone else, all the other shops are going to hate me because of you.
Well, there was only 30. There was only 30.
Should have got way more, mate.
So there's 30 of these new Maria stick baits coming out. There's only 30 around, so if you want one, they probably won't last long.
Okay, well, the good thing is...
have I got you in trouble, have I?
Yeah, you have, mate. Cause
I love getting you in trouble, mate.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Turn your phone off, mate.
I'd like to. Luckily, it's not just about that squid-coloured Rapido anyway. This one here has been doing super well. And the reason I'm showing you this clear one, even though it's actually remarkably good in its own right, it's got a UV reflective coating on it. And you can see that ball in there. That's a ball bearing. What happens when you cast that? Flies to the back
I'll
there.
hold it for you so you can talk.
Yep.
Then I can get in focus.
And it's also got wire going right the way through. I like that's so cool. It's got a, look at the head, the front there, just show that round. Okay, so quite a small little head, but concave. It means that when you draw it through the water,
I just put my hand there because now it focuses.
doesn't take a lot of effort to go and make it pop a good burst of water. And we're having a lot of success with that lure because it's aggressive, because it's noisy. We're getting some really nice fish on it. We're talking about fish that are over 20 kilos, and that's the one that I've actually been using mostly, but I just wanted to be able to show that ball bearing. The Japs reckon that one there was for the really quiet days. They like the more subtle, presentation of it. So it does have its uses, but it's just, I thought it was just there to go and see how the mechanics worked, you know. So,
right.
But no, it's a very cool lure, and whether you're fishing the navigation buoys or
what's this called?
fishing
Cameron.
coasts,
G'day, Cameron. So I haven't answered your messages, mate.
duck dive.
It's called a duck dive.
Maria duck dive.
Make sure you try this one because that's what the Japanese guys come over
She
always
is a
go
ripper.
on about.
It is a real ripper. I mean, it was doing well on big kingies over in Japan. So just imagine how well it will do here. As I say, we're doing well off posts. We're doing well off any sort of structure that goes into any current. We're doing well around any schools of baitfish, particularly those splashing on the surface. But just try to remember that you know, the gannets, if they're around, they can be prone to diving on it, and you don't want to go and hook those up. So perhaps just keep an eye out for those, and use your common sense. You don't want to be hooking up to a gannet.
Here's a good question from Tony Nolan. Bait packaging is a problem. I 100% agree with you. We often see packets of bait, empty ones, floating around in the ocean. So I guess this is a call to the bait guys. What can you do to not have your pilchards and stuff in plastic bags? Is there a better alternative? Is there, can you do it in bulk like they do in other countries? I've seen in other countries they just got a freezer full of pilchards, you come and load your chili bin up. You know, there's all these things that can be done. It just takes a bit of effort and a bit of thinking to change.
Maybe waxed cardboard or something.
Yeah, something like. Oh, some of the pilchards come in boxes, don't they? Yeah. So thanks, Tony. It's all good stuff. It's good to bring this kind of stuff to the surface. We can't bury our heads in the sand anymore about this plastic problem. It's real, and if being fishermen and being on the ocean, we got to do something. Even if it's just buying something in cardboard, we got to try, guys.
And can I just say, like, so often I see, you know, like people put a plastic bag like just in the bottom of the boat, and you know that that's going to get a gust of wind as you're moving along, and it's going to go in the water. Don't put it in the bottom of the boat. Secure it in a bag somewhere so it doesn't go in the tide.
Salt ice bags there, you know. That's a lot of. There's a lot of plastic in those salt ice bags.
Just
what can we do? You know,
Yeah.
what can we do? I think there's a good opportunity for a retailer to stick their hand up and start making some changes, because I'm sure people will really appreciate the first person who tries to change.
And I have to bang on a little bit about just skin protection. Like, so yes, I look like a dick when I'm in here at Subaru Winger, but out at sea I'm bloody thankful to go and have that around my face. I'm terrible at putting any sort of sunscreen on, and so to have something that's actually covering my ass, because I got my cap on here, I got that up to my glasses. That just is it's so nice to know that that is actually cutting out all the glare. Same with my hands.
Yeah, I wear mine too now, mate. They stink though, mate.
Paul can tell you, these are mine.
Yeah, you
these
should
are
wash
mine.
them, mate.
And I got to say, they're real easy to go and wear, and they've got reinforcing in all the right places. They're still very easy to go and work your hands and just feel the rod and sensitivity, that sort of thing. But it's just stopping my hands from getting any worse than they already are. So these here, they're not very expensive. They're like about $40 or something like that. These are about 20
bucks, something like
22.
Yep.
So for the price of you getting skin cancer, especially you guys who think you're invincible, you know, it's like 15 to 30, when you think that nothing's going to happen, it does. It really does.
Yeah, we're getting older now, and we're
so
starting
look after
to
yourself,
choose ourselves.
particularly if you don't like the feeling of sunscreen on and all greasy and going on your lures and your bait and all that sort of stuff, because I think about that, you know, is that sunscreen putting the fish off?
Okay.
So having this, before you go fishing, all you need to do is pull that up, have your gloves on, and you know, you're sweet for the whole day. So you know, I can't say enough about it. You need to look after yourselves,
Okay,
guys.
we've got Robert. He has to go to a 12:30 meeting. He wants to know where the fish are. So let's. Oh, we can do that for you, Robert. Let's go over to the map. Is that right? Yeah. So let's first look at the weather forecast. So this is my swell map. This is, so that's Saturday 7 a.m. You can see it's very calm. Saturday 10 o'clock, very calm. 1 o'clock, very calm, all in the Hauraki Gulf. This blue is all like less than 5 knots. In the afternoon, a little bit of wind. So you want to go in the morning on Saturday, fish all day. Sunday, we've got 7 o'clock Sunday morning is pretty good. 10 o'clock Sunday's good. So what I'm saying, guys, is there's some really good fishing weather coming up on both Saturday and Sunday, and even Friday. Have you seen Friday? Mark will probably be trying to get out some excuse to so he can go fishing. Let's have a look at Friday. I'm pretty sure Friday's mint. So yeah, Friday is minties.
Yeah, my boss said I can't go on Friday.
So look at that. See, he's whinging already. So 10 o'clock on Friday is just calm. That's like glass. Yeah. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all mean as fishing, guys.
Get out.
Get out there. Where do you want to go? So this is a big question that everybody asks. There's workups on now. I've been in them for the past 2 days. They're not in one particular area. They're all over the show. So I've been finding them. So probably the 2 hot areas is this area here, which is a very traditional convergence zone to find workups, which is 5 miles north of Gannett Rock. That is a very good place to look at the moment. Also the corner of the elbow. So also around here there has been workups as well. And this area here between Anchorite and Channel, all through here, there were workups on Monday, and snapper, kingfish, not that many kawai. So people are saying, is there any fish underneath? Is there any snapper underneath? Yes, there is snapper underneath these workups. They're not big, they're nice pannies with the odd bigger one in there as well. We've also had old fish freak Dan Dijon was out yesterday and by Challenger. He had workups in the early evening, so here as well. And then I know I spoke to someone the other day who was coming back from, I think it might have been, I can't remember whose, but they were coming back from Little Bear and said there was workups all the way into Omaha. So there's workups all over the show, guys. What's working? Coin drops, sliders. Make sure you try a jelly baby out in these workups. You will be impressed, and they don't look flash, but please try them, especially the pink one. The 3.5 inch is my favorite at the moment in pink, and this color in coin drops. Saying that, we've also got, we've got full stock of sliders again now. So great time to do your slider type of fishing out in the Hauraki Gulf. It's going to be a fantastic weekend for fishing, isn't it, mate?
I don't think we'll have any excuses, mate. So
no.
Let's all go and see if that 90% decrease in snapper is right. Because
I don't believe it.
There's mountains of them out there. So I don't know where another 90% could be put. To be honest,
I think there's a meeting at the Yacht Squadron tonight at 5:30 to go to talk about this report. So if anybody wants to put their input in, might be a good idea to turn up there and see where these guys are getting this information from about snapper stocks declining. It would be nice to know. 80% or something, which I don't believe for a second.
Even if there is a significant decline, it'd be nice to know where the sources come from and how the science has been done.
Yeah, this is a really good idea. So this is what these discussions bring about, is good ideas from people. And why not get ready to sell solder straight into the chili bin, or bring your own bag or bucket? What a great idea. Just bring your chili bin and fill that up, because all you do is tip it in your chili bin anyway. So thanks, Greg. That's a really good suggestion, and hopefully there's some retailers watching who will, try and do something about this, and start.
Yep.
Yeah. What else?
Okay, well, I'll just finish off myself.
Oh yeah.
Because
do your shameless plug.
Basically, we have a lot of real good lures. We have some fantastic ones, and people just don't know how to use them. Whether it's a slow jig, or whether it's a popper, or whether it's one of our stick baits, one of our Maria stick baits, slow jigs, soft baits. It doesn't really matter. All of them are covered in here. You can go and work out how to go and fish them and get the best from them. For the price of just 2 lures, or even one, if you're getting a slightly more expensive one, $30, you can learn how to use all our lures and that's really inexpensive. Instead of just buying a lure and actually going home empty-handed, find out actually how to get the best from those lures that you're buying from us. They will definitely do the job. If you go and read this, you won't have any excuses, okay?
Cool, so once again guys, I'll be sending out a report on the weekend. If you hasn't joined our messenger bot, make sure you do, because that's where I send the information out first, so you really want to be a member of that, because you don't always see the stuff on Facebook these days. Any questions, please message us. I know some of you are waiting for us to answer you. We do apologise that we don't reply to you straight away. We get lots of people asking where the fish are. If you're in that situation, please check our Facebook page for reports before you ask, because most of the time there is a report up on our Facebook page that's quite recent. So that's helpful if you look there first. But we will answer all your questions. We like answering your questions. Any ideas anyone has, anything anybody wants to say, anyone who wants to come on the show, anything like that, feel free to message us. We really like our fans and we want to look after you. Yep. So thanks very much for listening today, and that's all I've got to say.
Me too.
Is that all you got to say?
Pretty much.
Once again, thanks to Winger Subaru for supplying us with our awesome tow vehicles for our boats. We really do like them, and they're cool guys down here. So if you're thinking of buying a car, come and check out these guys. They're a lot of fun. We love hanging out here because there's a lot of banter, a lot of jokes, and we have a lot of fun down here. So, come and say hello one day. All right, see you later.
Yeah, Ocean Angler signing out.